Good morning and welcome back to the BDTV Breakfast Show. This is Social Listening. This is where we bring to you some of the stories making the rounds on social media. My name is Elizabeth Musa, and of course, I'm joined this morning by
Onyeka Valentine.
I was even adding very for
Very,
you. You
right.
didn't even
When people say very,
the
I always think there
the
is
only,
some,
the one,
there's some hidden
the
agenda
only.
in it, the very.
When did very we have?
I'm suspecting something.
Suspecting that I want to give you money
Well,
or what?
that would be nice.
How was your weekend though?
It was nice. It was okay.
I can see you have all smiles this morning. You're all
So
smiles.
the reason why I'm smiling is that,
It didn't rain.
well, apart from that, I was hoping that, we'll get the amount of money we made out of that boat race. But I didn't
Man, did you go though?
Well, from a distance, I watched from atop of the bridge. I could see what was going on.
It was something. It was
spectacle
such
to
a
behold.
spectacle. It was good.
But I wanted to see, well, maybe not immediately, eventually. Let's see how that will trickle down
To the economy.
That's all I want to see.
It will definitely trickle down. That
You
if
know.
it's not, if it hasn't trickled down
Already.
in the sense of taking more from the economy, because what we want to see is that it trickles down by adding to the economy, not taking, because there's
Out of it.
making that making that event happen was
It was
a
top
whole
notch.
lot.
It was
top
yes.
notch. It's great to see it come to Nigeria. It's great to see the people that were in attendance and whatnot. But there was a lot put into make it happen.
Finance.
In my own thoughts, I'm just thinking, the impact on the economy, it has to be adding,
True.
not taking.
Not subtracted.
Yes. So that's all I'm going to say. But it was a very interesting event over the weekend.
More of it will definitely increase GDP, hopefully. We're in renewed hope periods. Let's keep the hope up. What do you have?
We have something interesting today. It's not even so serious, but I found it really interesting, and I would like to even see if you share same thoughts or if you share different
Otherwise.
thoughts. It's very out of the ordinary, really, if you ask me. Now, there is this billionaire.
Right.
His name is Chief GT Odeworitse.
When you say billionaire, it is
Billionaire.
directly in the lane of our thoughts.
Okay. Now, he's the CEO of GIM Brown Marine, and he has defended his decision to take a 19th wife, saying that one woman
Wow.
cannot sustain a man's passion forever. So he described polygamy as a practical truth of human nature, and he also said that over time, familiarity makes men lose interest in their wives, and that passion fades when couples live too closely. He believes that men should either live separately from their wives or marry more than one woman to keep love alive. And that's the story from social media. Well, he's a Delta State billionaire, by the way. And then when I saw it on social media, I saw when you're taking 19th wife, I'm like, wow, I thought we're done with Solomon era. So this is like the Solomon of our time, because I don't think in recent times I've seen someone who has taken this number of wives in recent times, at least in the things I've seen.
Right.
So just listening to him buttress the reason why it's important, saying that men should take on polygamy because men are polygamous. I mean, I hear men say that a lot, that they are polygamous in nature. Shout out to the ones that are monogamous in nature, because it seems like many men will say that they are polygamous in nature and all of that. Now he's also saying that familiarity makes men lose interest in their wife. Passion fades when couples live too closely. Blah blah blah. Men should either live separately from their wives or marry more than one woman to keep love alive. I think all these things are easy to say, but like, it's really a man's world though, because when I saw all of those comments, I'm like, okay, so what about women? Do you think that it's easy for a woman to live with a man over a long period of time? It's not easy. Do you think, as in, just put it vice versa, everything he was saying, familiarity makes men lose interest in their wives. Familiarity makes women to lose interest in their husband. Okay, passion fades when couples live too closely. Passion fades when couples live too closely too, as a woman. Do you understand? Everything he's saying, men should live separately from their wives or marry more than one. Women too should live separately from their husbands or marry more than one husband.
So the case now here is that he wants to marry the 19th wife because he
already married now.
he has already, because he believes that his need for women right, needs to be on a quantum. Now, just to address that quickly, I will say this: two things, because there is a, two sides to this coin. First and foremost, if I will mention if I thought there's some economic value, let me first mention the fact and rub up the idea of that you lose steam and spark when you're with one person for a long time. The question is, what motive was there before you moved into such marriage? Start with friendship, relationship, then marriage ship. Such word does exist. What was the intention? I keep telling people, look, for what it's worth, right? Wedding is one day matter. Marriage is mile and age. Get it? Mile and age. In other words, it means that don't marry for the fancy. Marry your friend. Marry somebody that you know that, one, even if you're angry with, you will not leave the person because the person is your friend. Even if you quarrel with the person as a friend, you will not leave the person because the person what? The person is your lover. So you move from that. There's a 5-stage of relationship. You have the butterfly, right? And then you have the quarrel point. Most relationship and marriages end in number 2. If you cross number 2 to number 3, what happens is that you're now on the trajectory to the point of number 5, which is to grow together, to build a legacy together. So the question is, if he had moved into his first, second, third, or fourth, or fifth marriage with beauty and all that stuff, you're bound to lose that spark, because truly speaking, you do not seek the essence of, I want to marry my friend. I want to see a friend in this woman. Someone that can build with me, right? Not just someone you say, oh no, I'm the boss, keep quiet when I talk. No, the world has moved on. The idea should be, listen, honey, how can we grow together? Have the idea of leadership, not rulership. Once you have such person that is reasonable, guess what? You not only have a house, when she comes in, it becomes a home. And so all these things are indicators that he has in mind the wrong person or people or ladies since. Which brings me to my next topic now. Or our next issue, which is this. The women who are agreeing to marry him, let's be honest. What are they marrying him for? Oh, he's a billionaire. So there's an economic value there. Because the man is a billionaire, meaning to say, oh, I don't even have to love him. You see the error most women have now. I don't have to love him. He'll just take care of my needs. I have my own quota at the end of the day. I do my due diligence. I have my wife's role in the other room, that kind of idea, and that's it. You see, the question now is that, are we seeing the two face of the coin? The answer is yes. Are the women being sincere for getting to such marriage? I know women who will not even look, not just about pride. The fact that their man hugs another woman in public, look, all hell will let loose. It is, for some people, connectivity goes beyond that. That's why when you have your friend of 10, 15 years, you now say, I want to marry her, not because, or marry him, not because he's just good looking or she's just good looking. She compliments me. He compliments her. Right? There is some form of higher connectivity. With that now,
I think the boy is already doing marriage counseling.
Yes.
So do you believe really that one woman can sustain a man?
So what you've done is you put me in a chokehold with this question.
Did I?
Yes, but I will answer it very, very frankly, and I'm very honest. And they might come for me, but that's a fact. Is one woman enough for one man? Which religion do you practice?
Do you have to answer? Do you have to ask the question again? Which religion?
And so to say that, I will say this, right? Let's be honest. Again, it depends. It
Depends on what?
I have to answer as a journalist. It depends on the
politician. This is not the journalist.
It depends on the situation regarding this. As far as I'm concerned, if it doesn't break the bank, if you have the money to take care of several women and marry them and not behave as an irresponsible man to say, I have a wife and have girlfriends, rather bring them to the table and say, look, let us get married. That is a responsible thing to do. And so to answer your question, is one woman enough for a man? If you have the money and you can handle as a billionaire, then one woman is not enough for a man.
So what? All the preaching that you've been preaching since, so we came back to this.
But that's the point, because the economic value here is that he has the money, empower these women. Yes. So at the end of the day, he's taking care of them. Money is flowing, the economy is flowing one way or the other. And if you get it right in your household, outside your household, other things work. I don't have to be a marriage counselor to know this.
Oh,
One
really?
thing for sure, for the fact I know that for what is worth, the money is flowing well. Each of them will go to market to go and buy things, empowering those who have those shops. Supermarkets will work. Money is flowing. So 19 wives go out, go into 19 supermarkets, and guess what? He puts those 19 supermarkets what in business.
You are a crook. That's all I have to say. But let's see some of the comments on social media. You are a crook. That's all I will say on this one.
So that's
let's see some comments on social media. If there are people that will say 19 wives will go to 19
supermarkets.
Prince Ude says, when he's no longer there, what happens? Unavoidable struggle for who gets what will set in. Man shouldn't confuse his lineage with lust. You cannot fare in your loving. One will override.
Right.
English. Love Lead says there is sense in what he is saying. Most men that marry more than one wife don't suffer divorce like the men that have one wife.
Point.
Uyime Abasi says polygamy keeps love alive when there is money to cater for the needs of the wives and the children. That's from Uyime. Mr. D Square 006 says women have no problem with polygamy. They just don't like poverty.
I didn't see that coming, but that's so important. Let us double mark on that. You see, who needs to hear should hear this. All right, romance without finance is a nuisance, and that's the fact. And in this case, women don't worry about polygamy so long as the money is flowing, which brings it back to the economic value there now, right? 19 wives go to 19 supermarkets within the area. What does that mean? The billions is flowing.
So what about 19 husbands going to 19
supermarkets?
Let's be
honest now. Let's look.
Oh, you think that women too there can be some rich women that would also have honest. 19 husbands?
First and foremost, men are built to. It is in their gene to want to provide and protect, and so men do what? If I'm going to provide and protect, I am asking, not demanding. I'm asking. They're
providers.
I'm asking for respect, so I must earn your respect as as a man from the woman you want to marry. And this is just basic. Now, if you now see the flip side, then woman will marry, men should have like 19 husbands too. Look, men are full of pride in nature. Take it from me. Men are built for want to be in charge, which is why if you see a male-dominated society, right, it's always very toxic. Why? Because look, a man is doing 100%. Men build the train. Men build the plane. Men build all this things. Do you know how many men have to fall across for that to happen? So the competition for men will be so stiff, and the question will now be, is it even worth it?
I think my only addition will be that we won't even get, a woman will even get 19 husbands to marry, because there's biologically there are lesser men than women, so that might not happen.
And health-wise, she can't even sustain that. Let's look at it. Forget about challenge for Guinness Book of Records. She can't sustain it. 19 husbands. We can't work.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's move on now away from Nigeria and away from this entire thing. Clearly, I see where you stand.
Right.
So tomorrow, if I look at you some type of way, don't hold me.
I will just say,
don't hold me responsible. To the United States Department of Homeland Security has introduced a new pilot program that will pay unaccompanied migrant teenagers $2,500 each if they agree to return to their home countries voluntarily. Now, according to officials, the payment will be made only after the minors arrive safely back home and is meant to help them reintegrate. As of early October, more than 2,100 unaccompanied minors remain in United States custody waiting for placement or court hearings. And that's the news from the United States this morning. We know how we are affected, whether directly or indirectly, by things that happen in the United States. But before I come to your thought, let's see some of the reactions on social media and see how Nigerians are reacting to this conversation. D.O. Jill says offering $2,500 for voluntary departure isn't weakness, it's smart enforcement. Detaining migrants costs taxpayers $150 billion annually, and this policy cuts bureaucratic bloat while respecting the rule of law. Want to stay? Follow legal channels. Want to leave? Take the exit bonus. Teammate74 says, if your parents send them here all alone, facing so much danger, I would hate that they would get some of the 2,500. Knock Japan Shop says if teens are here alone with no stable future, offering $2,500 and safe passage home is a far better option than keeping them stuck in legal limbo for years. I think I agree with that. Snowbird for Reach says they should go home without the $2,500 and take their illegal parents with them. Really, what's your take? Do you think that teens will accept this offer, or do you think they still want to stay in the United States to fight immigration or even asylum cases?
So those in glass houses should not throw stones. Let's be honest. There was a time when we had the Great Depression in the past. The United States was not the place to even go at that time. Now let's not even go too further. Yes, the United States, is great economy and everything. And I have nothing against the US. I mean, I would like to go there for holidays, but me, I'm a man of truth, and I say the way it is. Some might like, some might not like, but let's call a spade a spade. In this situation where you want to offer them $2,500 to now say go back to your home country as children that are not accompanied by adults, the question is, they shot themselves in the foot. So the question is, didn't they see this in their database before now? Right? Now we see ICE jumping back and forth the whole of Chicago and other states, apprehending people up the streets, snatching parents away from their children, making those children one way or the other, like I would was homeless, but of course without parents, because you want to impose or carry out what you think is correct. My question is simple. Look, the table turns around one way or the other, and it's just moral compass now,
Right.
which doesn't necessarily apply to people like Donald Trump. He's just someone, he wants it, he gets it done. But issuing an order is different from carrying out the order. That $2,500, a lot of people will get around it and say, have you not heard of people who don't even have $1 to eat? They'll tell, look, I'm not an American citizen, I'm an immigrant. Give me that money, send me back. That's the fact. So you will send them back. When they visit, they come back with their right passport and say, no, I just came on holiday and I'm coming in. Unless they have a system that will checkmate all this. However, if they have the money to spend on, unaccompanied children and send them back, surely that money could be used to now say, since they're already in the United States of America, it's big enough for everybody. Can we revisit this thing? It's enough, right, to say, okay, I want to deal with Mexico or other countries who have immigrants in this country, right, by slamming tariffs at them. But can you be a bit lenient and see that these people, most of them were born in America? Maybe they don't have proper documentation. Maybe their social security number is not in place or some error or something like that. Can you tamper that mercy or tamper that justice with mercy a little bit so that we see the humanity in so-called leadership? At some point, America is going to end up isolating itself from the rest of the world. And it's already happening. Mind you, America is no longer the biggest economy in the world. China is.
Okay.
They just don't want to accept it yet. They find it difficult the bitter pill to swallow. And more countries now are now doing what? They are gravitating towards China. Mandarin now is now becoming most countries, official, not official language, but they're beginning to adopt it in. After all, here in Nigeria, there was a time we took a story saying Mandarin, right, can now be part of our curriculum. Ridiculous, but again, it is happening.
I don't even think it's ridiculous. I think it's welcome. It's not ridiculous.
To be widely multilingual, right? Anyway, so to buttress my point more regarding this $2,500, I think if they have the money, which they do, can that whole system that whole decision be, revisited again? And then that money be put into good use. There are a lot of homeless Americans who have, look, these are full-fledged Americans. They don't even have where to stay. You think there are homeless people in Africa? If you go to some certain cities and states like in like Philadelphia and other areas in the same United States, they are sleeping on the streets. There's problem of fentanyl. Most of them under bridges. It's all over the internet. Can't hide any longer. Gone are the days when only the idea of land of milk and honey, land of the free, right? Just like in America, you start plucking money from trees. Those days are gone. The internet has now done what? It has broken everything. We now see what's going on. So, believe it or not, if you're not hardworking, you land in America, you don't have a plan, you end up on the streets.
I think it's not even just America alone. It's every country.
So believe it or not, those people who are listening who are, wonderful American friends and brothers, be rest assured, it's not really green in your pasture any longer. You know, just the way people think it used to be.
Okay. All right. Let's wrap it up this morning. This is where we close the curtain right here on social listening on the BDTV Breakfast Show. We looked at the Delta billionaire defending his 19th wife, and we also heard from Mr. Valley on his stands and how he's also going to probably get 50. It's just money that is holding him back right now. And then the United States.
Said so. I didn't say so. I didn't say so. But then again, if I'm a billionaire and given the opportunity,
I see what you would do if you're a billionaire. It's just
more than 5 or 10 wives. I mean, the questions. Well, so I don't believe in. I want a monarch, right? And I think, let's be honest, having more than one wife, if at all there is, it is going to be so troublesome too. How are you going to?
Please don't speak from two sides of your mouth, please. You already told us what you talked about. 19 wives shopping from 19 supermarkets. Let's leave it at that.
That's for the billionaire. For the billionaire.
And for you.
No,
and
for the billionaire.
And of course, the United States offering cash to migrants who agree to return home. Let's see if they would accept or not.
Right.
But that's where we wrap it up this morning, right here on the BDTV Breakfast Show. My name is Elizabeth Musa.
I'm Onyeka Valentine.
See you tomorrow.